Jurors in the murder trial of Richard Alex Murdaugh, a disbarred South Carolina lawyer, will visit the family estate where prosecutors allege he killed his wife and youngest son. The defense requested the visit to help jurors understand the spatial relationships at the crime scene. The judge granted the request over objections from the prosecution, with the visit scheduled after testimony from 4 or 5 rebuttal witnesses. The trial is in its 6th week, with the defense resting its case. Murdaugh faces 2 counts of murder and 2 counts of weapon possession and could receive 30 years to life if convicted. The case has received widespread media coverage due to the Murdaugh legal family's political influence in South Carolina. Murdaugh himself took the witness stand last week, denying any involvement in the murders, but admitting he lied about his whereabouts that night. He floated his own theory of who committed the murders, but had no evidence to support it. The prosecution has sought to portray Murdaugh as a serial liar who killed his family amid mounting financial troubles. Jurors in the murder trial of disbarred South Carolina lawyer Richard Alex Murdaugh will visit the family estate where prosecutors said he gunned down his wife and youngest son. The judge ruled on Monday. Murdaugh's lawyer Dick Harputlian asked Judge Clifton Newman to allow the jurors to visit the crime scene to get some understanding of spatial relationships. At the dog kennels where the murders took place on the evening of June 7, 2021. Newman granted the surprise request, over an objection from the prosecution, as the trial entered its 6th week. Newman said he would arrange a jury view of the Moselle estate following the testimony from 4 or 5 rebuttal witnesses for the prosecution scheduled for Tuesday. Murdaugh's defense team called its final 3 witnesses on Monday, resting its case. Once the jury visits Moselle, it will hear closing arguments and start deliberations, likely in the second half of the week. The case has drawn intense media coverage, given the political influence of the Murdaugh legal family in South Carolina. Murdaugh, the scion of the family, was indicted by a grand jury in July and pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of murder and 2 counts of possession of a weapon. He faces 30 years to life in prison if convicted. Murdaugh on the witness stand last week testified that he had lied about his whereabouts on the night his wife Maggie, 52, and son Paul, 22, were killed, but said he had nothing to do with their deaths. Investigators said Paul was gunned down in the feed room near the kennels, and his mother killed nearby. Harputlian said a visit to the Murdaugh's 1,800-acre estate would allow jurors to see how small the feed room is and understand its location in relation to Maggie's body, as well as to other components of the property. You just can't really appreciate the spatial issues without actually seeing them, Harputlian said. Lead state prosecutor Creighton Waters objected to the jury visiting, arguing the estate looked different than it did in 2021 and said a visit might require additional testimony from the state. During his testimony, Murdaugh floated his own theory of who committed the murders, saying he believed someone angry over a deadly boating accident involving Paul in 2019 had done so. He acknowledged that he lacked evidence to support that theory. For the prosecution, Waters has sought to portray Murdaugh as a serial liar who committed the murders amid mounting financial troubles, and as he faced growing scrutiny over schemes to deceive law partners and clients out of huge sums of money to feed a drug habit and support a wealthy lifestyle. Murdaugh changed his account of his whereabouts on the night of the killings after the jury saw cell phone video containing audio of his voice placing him at the scene. Monday's 3 defense witnesses included 2 forensic experts who both testified to aspects of the investigation they believed that law enforcement got wrong.